Hello, everyone. This is Sabrina, and you're watching Coffee with Sabrina podcast. Today, I have a special guest with me. Oh my gosh, I've known this guest all my life. So, you're in for a treat. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things, but the topic is really health and wellness. So, with no further ado, I want to introduce my dad. Hey, Dad, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about you, your childhood, your growing up, whatever you want to tell us today.
My name is Faizul Mohammed. I was born in South Trinidad. My family was 6 brothers, all boys, and 6 sisters. We were poor, real poor. So we plant garden and we live happily with goats, cows, ducks, chicken, everything you could think of. So I was happy to be poor because I grew up happy.
So tell us a little bit about, I think the most amazing story for me was when you guys were growing up, you ate meat or chicken once a week.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that, because when you had your family, we grew up eating meat almost every day. So tell us about that.
Yeah, we used to eat every Sunday meat. My mom used to tell me, one whole lot big fowl cook there and let's kill that and everybody will get a piece or two. So we hold it, we clean it, we cook it. But when she cook it, it used to be like watery down because 12 kids and mom and dad have to eat from that. But we were still happy because we get to eat chicken. So after we eat and so on, we will go play, run in the bush, come back. My mom would tell me and my brothers, go and bring the goat, that's about 4 or 5 in the evening, and put them in the pen. So we will go, bring the goat, put them in the pen. We had water used to come with a truck. Tell us go and bring some water home because she ain't going for no water when they have 4 or 5 big boys in the house.
So they put it in barrels.
In barrels.
Yeah.
So we went, 2 of us used to hold 2 pan or 2 bucket or whatever and bring it in our hand, fill it in a barrel home and go back and make about 6 strips. So we have half a barrel of water, or sometimes it's full.
So basically you grew up really active.
Active,
and
yes.
outside, a lot of outside activities.
Yeah, if we're not outside, we have to stay inside and get licks.
Yeah.
Because we will be doing mischief.
Right.
Yeah,
So growing up like that, and I even remember, going to my grandmother's house in the south, but also my mom's mother family was in the north. So my sister and I got to see both sides of lifestyles. And you said you grew up mainly pure poverty. When I talk about you and I talk about mom, I talk about my dad growing up with pure poverty, where my mom came from a lot of wealth. How, as you grew older, teenage years, growing older, becoming a man, tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, well, teenage years was fun because I get to go to the cinema in the night, daytime, Saturday 1:30, me and the boys.
All your brothers that were boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we go to the movies 1:30, we come back in the evening about 7, 8 o'clock. We have dinner cooked there, mom cover it somewhere on a table or maybe on the floor. And we open it and eat. Well, 8, 9 o'clock we go to bed. Wake up in the morning, go and get the goat and them in the garden and let them feed, and so on. Come back, feed the chicken, get ready, and go in the garden.
So kind of the same routine
Every day. Yeah.
Every day.
To plant.
Did that, and you said you were happy, so that never really bothered you, did
That never bothered me.
Oh wow, okay.
We were really happy because you with your brothers,
Right, right.
2, 3 brothers, and your dad.
Yeah.
You go to the garden over the river. After you finish work, if you want to fishing, you're fishing. You catch 6, 7 fish and you come home and you clean it and give your mother let her curry it or stew it or whatever, fry.
Yeah.
And we eat that.
Well, our culture is more
we
about
were
curry.
real happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that because even when I took my son to Trinidad to visit, I remember him saying, "Oh, Mom, I love the South so much more than I love the North." And I think it was the simplicity of life is what he liked.
Yeah.
So tell us now about your grown-up years.
Oh, well, when I was home, really, I was a transport engineer. Normally, we call it taxi driver, but in the modern times now, is
Transport engineer. Yeah, I like that. Okay. We have a lot of transport engineers right now.
After about 12, 14 years, I became a businessman, traveling to the Caribbean, all the islands, bringing things and selling and going back 2, 3 times a week. 2 times a week for sure.
Yeah.
And even the 2 girls going with me, Sabrina and Selena.
So you and Mom and my sister and I.
Yeah. We go in and come back. And we used to make money. When I say money, real money. I used to have $30,000 under the couch in the living room at one time.
So I think I always wanted to ask this question. From where you were growing up, pure poverty, and now from your perspective, because I know my perspective of growing up and how I felt and being in the household with you and my mom and my sister. What did that feel like to you to now finally have money that you could stick under the couch or under the mattress?
I still do that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. We'll have to, my sister and I will have to go search the closet.
Yeah, you may not find it.
Okay. So tell us, what did that feel like to you?
Well, how I become in penny pinching is I never had money while growing up. Now I have, so I start penny pinching. I will start from $1 or 25 cents and I continue saving until I have $1. Then I'll continue until I have $5 and so on and so on. And when I make 100, I'll just stack it where the stack is.
So I think in the American language, penny pinching means a little bit more on the frugal side, a little bit more on you don't spend money. But I remember you spending money on us, on my mom, my sister, and myself. You to me, you were not a penny pincher. So I'm thinking you're more thinking along the lines of you were a saver. You love to save money. Because you spend a lot of money too.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, you're talking about when now, as I have a little money or get a little money, I try not to spend too much.
Okay.
I save more than I spend, but I get everything I want from you and Selena, Chevy and my wife. They buy everything for me.
Right.
So I have more money to save than to spend.
So I guess going back to growing up years for us, you kind of we got to live a little bit mid class, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because we weren't poor, but we weren't rich. We didn't have everything that we needed. We had everything we wanted. You did a lot of gardening and ducks and chickens and goats and things like that. You brought that into our world to teach us about that.
Yeah.
Was that something you still enjoyed at that age, being an adult?
Even if I have to do it now, I will enjoy it.
So you still enjoy it?
So we had a lot of ducks, you know that.
Yeah.
Chickens. And then I used to go down in the back of the house and plant garden. Yucca or cassava as we call it, corn, and
Dashing bush.
dashing bush,
Yeah.
all sort of little things. So if I had the energy now, I will still do that.
Yeah.
Because I plant things in pot like seasoning and thing all now.
So life was a struggle growing up. I am sure at some point it was a struggle raising two daughters and having a wife to take care of and being the only income in the household. But you did that, and I think it was around your 40s you had a major tragedy in your life. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, it was my birthday. I was 40 or 42, so 43, somewhere around there. And I went south by mom, and I come back about 6 o'clock. And I was sitting with my wife, cousin, 3 children, and my husband in the dining table home, talking and eating little snacks or whatever. And I felt this pain on my chest. So I sat there for about 5 minutes and I told them, I feel to go and lie down because it ain't stopping. So I went in the bedroom, turned the fan, and I lie down there for about 10 minutes. And they come and check me, my wife and you. And my wife was on fact said, let's go to the hospital because this pain looked like it ain't stopping. So we went to the hospital. In the way going to the hospital, a cousin stopped by a doctor, stopped by a doctor, and he gave me some tablet to put under my tongue also. And then we went from home to the hospital is about, I will say, about 35 minutes, and he did that in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So when we went there, the doctor already called the hospital and told them he's sending a patient and he's getting a heart attack or so. When we went there, they already had a wheelchair on the pavement where they take the patient to take me upstairs. So they put me on the wheelchair, they take me upstairs, and the doctor come and they tell me I have to spend the night. So I spend the night. That's the Sunday night.
Yeah, I think it was a Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, Sunday night. And the doctor told them that I wouldn't make it, to get the family and everybody to come and see me.
But that was after a good 14, 15, you spent 15 days in the hospital, I remember.
That,
so that was a Sunday you went in, it was 2 weeks, the next Sunday was when they said you're not going to make it through the night, yeah.
So I wake up Monday morning, I went to shower because I shower almost every day or twice a day if it's hot and sweaty. So when my wife and my niece husband and Sabrina, they came, they didn't see me in the bed, so they went ask the nurse, where's Mohammed? She said, I would like to know too. So I went in the shower and I shower. When they come, they walk around by the shower and see me showering. They ask me, who tell you go and shower? I said, nobody have to tell me to shower, I'm a big boy. Mm-hmm. So I went and showered.
This is after they said, you're not going to make it through the night. you had a major heart attack.
Yeah.
I believe major and minor heart attack is a heart attack, right? But they deemed it a major heart attack. We had to rush you to the hospital because we didn't have 911. We didn't have ambulances that could come and pick you up back then. This is almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So I love that story also because of the power of prayer. Because I remember that Sunday, everyone was gathered at the hospital. There was a lot of prayer. There was a lot of stuff happening. A lot of things being put out in the universe. For you, what did you feel like when you woke up that Monday morning to go shower?
I feel normal. I feel nothing didn't happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I could get up my bed 5 o'clock in the morning or 4:30, whatever it was, and walk to the bathroom with a towel, my underclothes and whatnot, go in the shower, put the water on, cold water, even hot water,
Yeah.
and shower and come back. I feel strong, like a king, because the doctor told me I wouldn't live.
So, yeah, I can remember that clearly. But when you came out from the hospital, you had restrictions. You had dietary restrictions,
Yeah.
things that you couldn't eat. And this has been so long ago, so I could, not remember this right, because your brain seems to be better than mine in a lot of ways. But I remember you would do it. You would eat the things we were cooking. Mom and I was cooking for you because Selena was not at home. But there was a time when you were like, you would get angry at us and go, "You try to eat this." Do you remember that? How did that feel for you to change your diet?
When the doctor told me, when you eat lots of fish and vegetables and so on and so on and so on, but we have the wharf where we just go and buy the fish. When we go in there, I tell them, stop here and see if you get some fish. Kingfish is why. So those days kingfish was $16 and $15 a pound. Imagine 40 years ago, $15 a pound for kingfish. I tell the guy who's selling the fish, leave off the crown and give me the fish. So the thing is to eat what we call baigan choka, roast eggplant with a little onion, no salt, no other garnish or nothing. To eat that, it was like telling me, no food for you today. So,
and even the spinach, the dashing bush bhaji, like we call it, to eat that without salt was kind of rough too.
it was kind of rough, but I rather that than the eggplant, because I could just throw that in my mouth and swallow it. Yeah.
But you did it.
Yeah, I did it for long.
Yeah. And then so fast forward, then you moved to America. Your entire family were here. My sister, myself, my mom, and you. Tell us a little bit about that life until all these other tragedies happened.
Well, when I first came here, I used to work with a guy from Trinidad, construction, because my art in being how you call it?
Transportation engineer.
Transportation engineer.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle that here, because I now come here, I had to learn the place, learn the people, learn everything.
Yeah.
So I worked with him for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And then I went back to study nursing, and I went and get whatever certificate.
Your CNA, because I have to say, I remember when you got your CNA license, I remember asking my mom, can Dad read and write? Like, I didn't know you could read and write. Even though you taught us right, you taught us how to save, you opened up bank accounts for us back home. You and Mom always taught us how to live life. in my head, I didn't think you can read or write. And when you did that, I was super proud of you.
Well, I did that. I get my certificate, and they employ me where I went and take the course. But they used to pay $1.25 an hour. That is in 1990 you're talking about. So I worked there, continue working, continue taking different courses, like Alzheimer's courses, like they have some other disease and thing, and they're giving lectures, and they ask for all who want to go and listen to the lecture. Every time I take a course, they used to give me $2 or $1.50 raise. I take about 6, and when I was ready to leave there, I was working for about $10 an hour. After leaving there, I was doctors.
It was Mesquite.
No, not Mesquite. Doctors are.
Oh, the nursing home.
Right.
Yeah.
Doctors nursing home. When I lived there, I got a job in Mesquite, what they call Mesquite Medical.
The Mesquite, Dallas Regional.
Dallas Regional.
Yeah. In Mesquite.
In Mesquite. So I continue, I worked there for 2 or 3 years, and then I got this irregular heartbeat, which the doctor told me. I went and see a heart specialist, and he told me, I'm going to send you by electrophysiologist, which is Dr. What do you call him?
Stewart.
And I went by him, he said, you have to go down to a ward right now. And we have to check on that and keep you 2 days and see if that heart would stop or slow down. 5 days and it didn't stop and it didn't slow down, it did nothing. So he told me I have to put a defibrillator on you. I said, that's the best? He said, yeah, that's the best, because your heart not slowing down and it not stopping and it just racing.
And a pacemaker wouldn't have done it because
pacemaker was out of the question.
Yeah.
So they put that and they sent me home. As this was a Saturday morning. So when I went home, my wife making breakfast for me, and I sit down by the table, and she bring black eye and toast or something, and eggs. And the first spoon of black eye I take and put in my mouth, the defibrillator shocked me, and I just went up there. So Camille come and bring me back in the hospital, and they keep me for about 8 days again, 7 or 8 days. Or till, I don't know what they did, but Dr. Stewart did something.
I think they had to readjust the defibrillator.
Yeah,
the
with the computer thing.
Yeah.
And they readjust something. I went home. But while Camille was putting me in the car, it shocked me again. Before that, I told her I want to go in the bathroom, and it shocked me in the bathroom. So I got 3 shocks in less than 10 minutes. Then I come to the hospital.
Yeah.
So it was painful. Since then, it's defibrillator after defibrillator.
So a defibrillator lasts like normally supposed to last about 7 or 8 years.
6, 7 years.
Yeah.
But some of these had recall, some did last 6 years, and so I end up with changing it 8 times. In 2022 was the last I changed, and I have no problem. It's working very good. So I will advise anybody who having heart failure or how do you call it?
Pain in the chest, right?
Pain in the chest, go and see the cardiologist, and if they advise you to put a defibrillator, do it, because I am living with it for maybe 20 something years or more,
Right.
and I'm happy. Although I don't have no work to do, and I don't do nothing like strenuous, so I'm strong like a lion.
So I want to talk, you've been through this health journey of surgeries and putting you under. I remember they had to shock you a couple times in one of the surgeries to come back. Your will for living is beyond this world. But I also tell people, when you have tragedies after tragedies and you're still here, you're here for a purpose. So my purpose is making a difference to the lives of others. And I feel like I can do that today through this show with you being my guest, talking about your journey. But I want to talk about your last surgery in 2022, because I remember my sister and I going with you along with our mom to the doctor, and she flat out told you, I am not doing this surgery if you don't bring your A1C down.
Oh yeah.
And I know a lot of people struggle with diabetes and their A1C, and yours, I'm going to say it, yours was above 9. It was above 9, and she told you, she said, either way you're going to die. So I am not going to do the surgery because you're not going to come out of it, you're not going to heal until you can bring that down. So you were either going to die, according to her, during surgery or healing, or the battery will run out from the defibrillator and you'll die anyway. So that's the part that I really want to talk about when you heard that to where you found yourself. Tell us a little bit about that period.
Oh, that was easy. Just stop. Yeah, I used to eat blackberry, lettuce, piece of avocado, and sometimes egg for breakfast. For lunch, Selena used to make quinoa, little piece of chicken, or piece of fish, and I was happy with that. Even now I have to start doing that because I find I getting a little heavy.
But in the last 3 years, you lost what, about 76 pounds?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. And that takes determination, especially when you're older, but willpower, because you did get that A1C down to 2 points plus that she wanted you to get it down in order to do the surgery.
Yeah.
And you actually heal better than she thought you would. So I think for the audience, what in your head, what triggered to say, you know what, I'm going to eat better. I have to eat better. I have to get this A1C down. What triggered, what made you want to do that?
I just wanted to live and live for my wife and 2 children and a grandson.
Yeah.
So,
And maybe hopefully great grandbabies.
yeah,
We want to
hopefully.
see that. We want to see that.
So that was it. So I feel everybody should kind of balance on the meal, because in these times you're not getting as healthy food was long time.
Right.
And besides being healthy food, you eat too much of meat and less fish and chicken. So that beef and red meat is kind of out of the plate.
Right, right.
So things like that you got to do to keep your A1C low to make your doctors clap when you go and see the scale and things like that.
Yeah. So you wanted to live, but I also know you wanted quality life.
Yeah.
And in order to have quality life after everything you've been through and with your health where it was, in order to have quality life, you had to make a lot of changes. So it really, I think it starts with you, it starts with the person, and you have to want it.
Yes.
And that's what I love about your story, is that you wanted to live, but you also wanted the quality of life, a good quality of life. So with that, before we end, do you have anything you want to share with me, with the audience?
Well, I hope the audience follow what I said and do what I said and try and be a little more healthy. Let the doctor clap when she see my scale and say, you all doing a good job. Your children taking care of you. So continue doing that.
I did have one question that I forgot to ask you throughout in this last part. You can't, because of all these defibrillators and things like that, you can't do a whole lot of strenuous exercise, but you're always moving. So tell us a little bit about that before we end.
Oh yeah, because my wife bought me one of those things you sit in a chair and you pedal. They call it a school, whatever they call it, but you pedal. And in doing that, I pedal up to 14,000 pedals a day.
You make 14,000 steps.
Yeah, and at least for 5 days. But now I kind of go low down in that because I find my legs kind of pain me, and I try to do 600 every day.
600 or 6,000?
6,000 I mean.
Okay.
6,000 a day. So I try to keep it up, and I feel good. I feel real healthy.
Okay.
Sometimes I have aches and pain, but I think that's old age.
Yeah. Oh, old age. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take that. We'll take that. So anything else before I end today?
I don't think so. I think I give you everything that I remember.
Okay. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming on Coffee with Sabrina. I also want to publicly say to you, to my mom, that I'm so grateful for the way you, both of you, raised my sister and I. We got to see so much diversity with life, with love, with people, with religion, with everything around us. And we get to live that kind of life today. So without both of you coming together from the two different worlds you came from, and then raise my sister and I in this kind of way, we would not have been able to be the individuals we are today. And so I'm super proud of you. I'm proud of my mom for coming here. I don't think my mom ever worked a day in her life. And when she moved here to America, she went to work, stay active, to help with, because here everyone has to work in order to live. So I'm very proud of both of you, proud of my sister for who she also has become, and just you guys teaching us how to live and live with values and morals. So thank you for that, and thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Don't get it. So thank you guys. Again, this is Coffee with Sabrina. You've just watched another episode with my special guest, my dad. We will have caption on here for anything that you may not have understood. There was a lot of our Trini slang being used in this podcast, so we will have captions for you. Until next time, bye-bye.